Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. Are we gonna do what they say can't be done? We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound, just like no man.
Alright folks, I'm back and here's what I have. Working on my hobby engine excavator. As you know, I've been trying to make metal parts. I recently started working on the base. Can't find it to buy it anywhere. I need to get that in metal. So, after hunting it down for some time and can't find it, I gave up and I started to make one. So over here, we have the cover. And that's where I've gotten so far. I gotta make the hole in the center. Thinking about transferring this piece, if I can't make it, onto that metal when I'm making here. And here's my bucket. Took me some little finagling, but I managed to get the teeth cut and blades, all aluminum. Here's the original. Let's take a look at this in the original. See what I've got. Again, that's already pre-made. And then I have to go now and work on this arm. I thought I was going to be able to remove this here, but apparently in all the excavators, it gets wider down here. I don't like the way how the engine made this. Of course, when I'm making it now in metal, it's going to have that bend, but this is two pieces actually. I glue it together and then cut it and then sand them down on my belt sander and get them both the same. This I'm going to bore the holes in this before I separate it. This I could simply just take this apart, put it on top, and from this being separated I could drill through the inner there after that's lined up. Line this up here, because when I made this I made sure that it's the same size down here as it is when you pull this back here. So basically I just added 1.5 inches right in the middle section there. Then, now, got a little bit more to do. I don't know if I should wait to order the hydraulics before I put this stuff in, but I definitely am going to make these posts here, the mount for the mast. So, I think I'm going to start working on the mast and see if I can get that going. But pretty much that's what I got so far. Look at this again. Alright, this is a thick piece of aluminum. And I'm going to duplicate with this. So, this part here I'm going to be getting here. Then this hole here I'm going to have to put in. I'm going to take measurements and make sure it's centered properly. And then the other hole for this motor. I might reuse this motor simply because I might have to cut this out, bore a hole in the plate and mount this underneath if I cannot duplicate this. Because on the bottom there's also another receptacle to actually receive that. So I might have to do the same when I make the bottom portion out of metal. I'm going to completely redesign it and yeah, I'm going to completely redesign it. It's over here on my other bench. Yeah, so a complete redesign of this. I'm going to change, I don't like all this. This is going to come back here a little bit and come, you know, and it's going to look more or less like what you will find on a brooder, but I'm going to make sure it's all metal. I'm going to make all this myself. I figured out how to get this in the same place and get it to turn. So all this is going to be completely redesigned. This I might have to remove and place it in the same place on the new platform. At first I'm going to reuse these rubber tracks, but I am going to be changing the tracks and using a chain for a conveyor belt and a pulley and modify the system so that I could get full metal tracks on. And that's what we have at this point. And let's go back over here. And this is what it is. So after a while, I'm going to have my own full metal hobby engine excavator. I would surely have bought the parts if I was able to find them, but literally, if you want a metal excavator, the cheapest you're going to find is about $3,000. And if you want a licensed product, you're going to be spending close to $9,000 just for a full metal licensed excavator. So either way around it, a full metal excavator, hydraulic powered, is a good piece of change. So if you can, build one. If you know somebody that knows how to build one, hey, you could buy it from him cheap. Save you a couple of grand. All right, it's the fabricator.
Down, loaded up and trucking. Are we gonna do what they say can't be done? We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound, just what